Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. It is finally ski season, which makes us all the more pleased to have Scott House here in Park City Television studio from Jan's and White Pine Touring. Thank goodness you're here because we need new gear to get out in the snow.
Yeah.
Need to know what to get, what's going to be the awesome stuff to carve some turns in. So everything from sticks to boots and the things to hold them together.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Well, I'm thrilled. You're excited for the season, I'm sure.
Yeah, we've got, the snow's here. I was just talking where it looks like we're 14% above average at Snowbird.
Like that?
That's an exciting number to hear. That'd be above average, at least for a little part of the season.
Have you been out yourself yet?
One day, but
that's
looking
one
forward
more than me.
Yeah, looking forward to getting out this week and playing in the backcountry a little bit. So.
All right.
Yep, it's an exciting time of year. Good to be thinking skis.
Well, I love that you've kind of got us figured out here in the way of everything you need, kind of almost a kit, as it were, of gear. So we're going to kind of go through them one by one here. And of course, I like to start with the part that's the least comfortable or the hardest to do right, to be comfortable, and that's the boot.
Okay.
Figuring that out to make sure that we're going to be warm and comfortable out there and actually also have that connection to the ski.
Yeah.
So talk to me about boots.
So we'll go through all three boots. The first boot that we have here, this is the Atomic Hawks 120. So this is a men's alpine ski boot.
Yeah. They're known for being a little wider.
They're a little bit wider, but the interesting thing about the Hawks boot is it has a memory fit component and the shell is customizable. So we can actually heat this shell, put it on your foot, and if we need to get more space, we can. If we need to get a little less, we can throw a cooling pack on it.
Really?
And shrink it down just a little bit. Now, it's only a couple millimeters, but a couple millimeters makes a big difference in boot fit.
Say.
The liners in these are also customizable. And then this is a 120 flex boot. So this is for your more aggressive skier, kind of that all-mountain expert type skier.
Oh, this is an excellent looking boot, for sure. Yep. So 4 buckle.
4 buckle.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Replaceable toe plates and heel plates.
Is that right?
Boots. Yep.
These are replaceable.
So now that you can get these off, and a lot of times when we had old ski boots, you'd wear your heels out, and then it didn't work in the binding. So now you can just take these pucks off and put on new ones.
Nice.
And then you can see these are the kind of customizable zones here on the boot, where if you heat this boot up, we can get some of that extra space and kind of get it molded to your foot more accurately.
So when we're blowing it out, we don't have to worry about actually blowing it out.
Exactly. Yeah. So you can still grind on these shells if it was necessary, but we can do a little bit more now with heat in that shell.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, it's going to definitely be a little more pliable, a little more workable.
Yep.
That you've got that extra space.
So a great boot, and this is an all-new boot for this year. So the Hawks line from Atomic has been around for a while, but this boot is brand new for this season. So
some
new liner, new shell.
Choices.
Yeah, exactly. Forward lean choices. You have a cant on the side of the boot as well, so you can adjust your cant. And like most things, you want your boot fitter to do that for you, to make sure it's getting perfectly dialed.
Indeed. All right. Let's move on into the Fischer.
Yep, so this is a Fischer. This is a women's boot. This is the Zephyr 11. Okay. And again, this is a customizable shell. Fischer has what's called the vacuum system. Same thing. What we're going to do is we're going to put your foot in this boot. We're going to heat it up, and there's actually a bag that goes over the entire boot. And we're going to use a vacuum system to suck that boot down around your foot and custom mold it to your foot.
Wow.
This is arguably one of the best fitting ski boots that's ever been manufactured. Lots of our Jan staff is on this boot, and this is the women's version. This is the Zephyr 11, so a great all-mountain boot for that aggressive women skier. Same thing, a 4-buckle boot with some adjustable cant, and then again, that custom fit is huge. To be able to anything up here, whether it's in the toe box or on the ankle or in the heel, that vacuum fit pulls that boot right to your foot.
And it looks like, based on what I'm reading here, they've kind of taken into account the fact that a lot of us don't stand perfectly straight forward. Yeah. We've got that natural...
little duck-footed.
Yeah. All right. That's awesome. I love that. All right, let's talk about this.
So this is the last boot that we've got out today. This boot came from White Pine Touring. This is the Mastroli RS boot, and this is an aggressive touring boot. So this is for that person who's looking to ski in the backcountry, needs a boot that walks uphill very well, but is extremely extremely stiff and can control today's larger skis going downhill. So again, a 4-buckle design. You'll notice that the buckle here along the forefoot is a strap, right? So it really helps to hold your heel in place.
Right.
You've got your walk mode back here. Tech inserts, so that's for those Dynafit bindings, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. And then this is a moldable liner. So again, that customization comes into a lot of boots today, and we can take this liner, mold it to your foot, get it in the shell, and then you have a much better fit on the boot. Vibram sole. So an all-around great kind of like a ski touring boot. This is the top ski touring boot, and one of the best boots you can get on the market today.
Boy, it really locks down when you're ready to ski, doesn't it?
Exactly.
That thing just snapped right down. I'm like, wow.
And a few years ago, it was a little bit different when we had touring boots. There was a little play in them, and the walk mounts weren't great. But we've come so far in boot technology that these boots are, when you're in your walk mode and the buckles are undone, it's almost like wearing a pair of tennis shoes walking uphill or hiking boots, and when you lock them down, it's like having your alpine ski boot.
That is awesome. Wow, big difference.
And substantially lighter weight than today's alpine boots too, obviously for going uphill.
Well, let's talk about getting them hooked to the sticks.
Yeah. So here, this is the Atomic STH13.
Okay.
A lot of people will recognize this. It looks very similar to a Solomon binding. It is the same technology, kind of same toe piece, heel piece. 13 dim binding, has the walk to ride technology, so you can use a little bit of today's kind of more aggressive sole as long as it has this plate in it to slide on here, right? We have adjustable toe height, so that's for today's soles. Ideally, you're not going to put an alpine touring boot in here, right? Because of the rubber sole and traction, but you do get some adjustable toe height to help that binding fit a wider range of boot soles.
That's cool.
And then a 13 din, the nice thing about a 13 din is, if you figure average person weighing in, let's say 170 pounds or 175 pounds for a guy, this binding allows you to be in the middle of the din range a little bit more if you're aggressive
at
skier. At that weight, yeah.
That's nice for a guy like me. That's right on.
Yeah, and because you don't want to be at 12 or 13 maxed on your dins. You want to be as close to the middle of that range as possible. So that 13 allows kind of the more aggressive skier to bump that din up without being penalized by maxing out their binding.
Yeah, and still be safe.
Yep.
That's
and then numerous brake widths on that as well. So we can
is that right?
Yep. So
that has been a big problem with a lot of skis.
Yep.
You get the ones where the brake doesn't activate, it doesn't go down, and when you need it to.
So we carry the binding, the brakes that match the bindings with brakes match the skis that we have on our wall, and then we can get and do stock a couple extra wider brakes depending upon the binding you need.
Terrific. All right, the tyrolia.
Yep. So this is a women's binding or women's kind of color scheme. It's the 12 din binding. So again, a little bit more aggressive. It's going to be for your aggressive women's all-mountain skier. Obviously, this has a really low stance, right? So it's going to sit low to the ski.
Right.
On today's wider skis, that actually helps the consumer kind of edge that ski a little bit better, gives you a little bit more control. Great toe piece, kind of looks similar with the wings, it's just a different design, a different take on that design.
How many release points are we typically up to on a good binding nowadays?
We've got vertical release and lateral release on toe and heel.
Okay.
Yep. And there are some new bindings out there, the knee binding, which is very niche and very, it's not very common.
I've heard about, a little bit.
There's some bindings like that out there that are trying to kind of get into the market, and I think the technology is coming along.
It's not quite there just yet.
Yeah, but your classic bindings, whether it's the Atomic, a Tyrolia, a Solomon, a Marker, are going to be plenty good and great for years to come.
Excellent. Oh, this is an awesome one as well. All right, and let's take a look at this. This is a whole lot different.
Yep, so this is a touring binding, and this is from our friends down at Black Diamond or Frichi. It's the Verttech binding. It's a tech binding, right? So it goes into the inserts here on the boot, right, on the side.
Yeah, we got that little plate right there.
Yep, and what's happened in the past with tech bindings was they were alpine touring bindings. They weren't releasable. And so I can show you on this binding some interesting features. On here, if we pull this up, that's when it's locked in, right? So we're locked into our ski mode. This is open. But one of the interesting things is if you can see, it's got that lateral movement to it, some lateral elasticity, which these tech bindings didn't have before this time. So this binding is groundbreaking in that it does have this lateral elasticity. What it also has, and it might take me, I don't know if I can, my thumbs might not be strong enough to do it here, but you can see I've pushed that down, and so we've got lateral release now on the binding as well. So these tech bindings in the past didn't have that ability. So now we have a din toe that goes to 12 with releasability. and then we can just go right back in when we need to.
I like
and so,
that.
and this has the ski touring mode, obviously. When we're going uphill, we just press down on the heel here. It locks that brake up in place, so we can walk uphill, and we've got our elevators that help us climb steeper terrain.
That is terrific.
And then when we want to go downhill, we just pull up on that back, and it slides the heel piece forward, and we're back to going uphill.
Wow, I really like that. I especially like having that lateral movement because when you're climbing and you're doing it on the side, you're sort of sidestepping or going up a, you're on a nice precipice, but you've still got to go up the hill. Yeah, you hate that. You pop right out every time. No more.
Nope. So, and this is, this is the first binding to ever have that kind of lateral elasticity to it. So it's really exciting.
And lets you out laterally in the bad crash.
Yeah, exactly. So taking that tech binding, that backcountry ski touring binding to a whole nother level of safety and performance.
I love that. All right. Let's talk about our favorite part, which is the skis.
Yeah, the sticks. So right here, this is the Theory from Atomic. And this is one of my favorite skis. It's 95 under the waist, so it's not traditional like powder ski, but a great all-mountain ski. So 132 millimeters at the tip, plenty wide to float and powder. It's got rocker tip and tail. It's a wood core ski with a carbon stringer in it. So you can see right through here a little bit. See those little bands of carbon in there?
Absolutely.
Yep, and so that wood core keeps it nice and light, and those carbon stringers help to give it that nice snap and pop, making it a really, really lively ski on the mountain. Great for all conditions. Never had a problem with this ski. Love carving it actually on hard snow, and then on those days soft snow, I think if you're 10, 12 inch powder day, you're going to be plenty happy on this ski. Obviously you get 3-4 feet of snow if we're lucky enough, and Mike will want to go a little bit wider, but just a great all mountain ski. Yeah,
it looks like I love the amount of rocker in this. It's just about perfect.
Not too aggressive, not overly
it's going to get you through some crud. It's going to get you on top of the powder. Those are the things that matter for an all-mountain.
Exactly.
Wow.
And so we've got a cap technology here on the front of the ski, and then we go to an ABS sidewall under the boot where we want that lateral and stability and strength, and then the cap gives us that lateral stability on the tip and tail.
Wow, that's a great looking ski. All right, so what have we got next?
So this ski here is the women's Storm Rider ski from Stokely. Stokely, obviously a Swiss-made ski. Very, very, lot of heritage, great reputation in the brand. Make extremely nice skis as far as in their heritage in that race world. So you're looking at a very, very well-made ski, wood core, very light, ABS sidewall, really nice edges and bases, flat tail. This is kind of your women's all-mountain carver. It's about 85 at the waist. So going to be, again, very versatile, great for those kind of crud days.
Turns.
Really, really snappy ski, makes beautiful turns. Rated a 14 out of 15 in Ski Magazine.
Jeez, a lot more rigid. Wow.
Yeah, so this is, with this boot and binding in that ski for a women's ski setup, that is your aggressive all-mountain skier right there.
This is a girl you like to go skiing with for sure.
Super fast.
She's gonna beat you to the bottom of the mountain, that's for sure, on that one. All right, and what do we got here?
Now this...
Black Diamond?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Been wanting to see this ski.
Yeah, so this is a carven covert. 186 centimeters, or 180 centimeter actually is the length on this ski. This is a wood core ski. So ultra lightweight wood core. It's a balsa wood, and there's another wood in there that BD doesn't like to tell us about, but it's in there, and it makes it super light. And then there's a carbon top sheet on it. Now, if you look on the top sheet, BD has some cutout here. They do this to reduce weight in the ski, as well as add some torsional stiffness to the ski.
Right, but still not sacrifice strength.
Exactly. Yep. So milled out.
In fact, adds a little strength, as I understand it.
Yep. And as far as skis go, when you compare even this ski to the shorter women's ski as far as weight, there is nothing this light. So this is not ideal for ski resort skiing maybe. It's going to be a little light, maybe a little bit chattery on some of that lighter snow, but great for backcountry skiing. The ultimate in backcountry skiing. So combining that with the Scarpa boot and this Verttech binding, you're looking at a really ultimate lightweight setup, go anywhere, ski anything type ski.
Wow. I love the sandwich construction on this one too.
Yep, and you've got a rocker tip still.
Yep.
And then on the back, you'll notice there's a little metal tab on the bottom of the ski, and that's for your skins. So a dedicated skin tab, so when you pull your skins over, it doesn't damage the back of your skis, and it also keeps the skins on.
Like they do if you don't have that. Wow, great stuff, Scott. This is awesome. I'm excited to get back out this year, and you've got all the gear you need to do it.
Tons of gear.
So for getting outfitted, go to both White Pine or Jan's. Either one will get you set up?
Yeah, so White Pine Touring is going to be your backcountry resource. You know, Nordic skiing, snowshoeing, and backcountry and telemark skiing.
Okay.
And Jan's will help you on all the alpine side. We've got everything there. And if we've got a couple of seconds, we've got a couple great events coming up. We've got a women's ski clinic coming up on December 5th at our Park City Mountain Resort store from 5 to 7. And it's a free ladies ski clinic. We're going to have wine, cheese. We're going to give away a pair of K2 skis, a pair of Fischer boots. And we're going to go through all women's ski technology, why women's lessons, women's boots, women's ski product are designed for women, how that works. And we're going to go through that whole process. So it's free and ladies only.
It's a great thing because there's a lot of differences. We're talking about a different angulation from the hips and all kinds of things that are a big deal, and it's going to make you a lot more comfortable.
Exactly. So there's that, and then we have a free avalanche awareness lecture coming up out at Red Rock Brewing on December 3rd. Brian McInerney is going to come up from the National Weather Service, and we're going to do a quick hour and a half, 2-hour talk just to get everybody ready and savvy for the season out at Red Rock Brewery on December 3rd, 6 to 8 p.m.
Can't think of anything more important than that, because having you be safe and continue to be a customer and a viewer for us, we like that. We like to see you, keep you alive. Well, thank you so very much, Scott House.
Thank you.
Jan's and White Pine Touring, that's where you want to head to get set up for this season. We will be back wrapping up the show for this hour right after this break.